Okay, we are live. Hi, Marketa. Hello,
Hello, Reka.
everyone. Thank you for joining me today for this little conversation. I'm so excited because it's a wonderful topic, choice and kindness, and the two together, maybe even. So, I would like to start with a story. Maybe you don't even know that, how I ended up in Prague in February, where we first met. It was a crazy choice because it was a Wednesday and I should have started to translate the 3-day body class for Moira in Budapest from Friday. And on Wednesday, I was like, I don't know why. I just feel like I have to go to Prague for Brandon's 3-day body class. And I thought to myself that I'm crazy. How could I do this? How could I choose this? And I was like, I'm sure I can find anybody 2 days before the class that would change and will translate the class. So I thought it's impossible, but I just felt like I have to be there. I choose this. And I managed to find another translator, and Moira was so amazing, such a space and such kindness that she thought that, yes, if you feel like it, you have to go there, just go. And there I met you. So when you choose yourself and you choose what's light for you, the universe just rearranges everything, and truly miracles can happen. So I know you have made a crazy choice as well in the past month or so. Would you like to tell the story to those who are listening to us?
I can tell anything. You deserve, Reka. And I'm so grateful you invited me for this topic. So thank you so much for preparing all of that and inviting me for this beautiful, beautiful topic called like choice. And I love your story and what you said, because like how often we really feel crazy because we don't see people doing that around us. And I also realized how I have always been kind of crazy, and how natural it is for me to change all the time and to be chaos. But like my parents hated it so much, and the most of people of this reality, they hate it. Like when you make changes at the last moments and you just follow your knowing and awareness and lightness, how much people really hate it, because it's destroying what they decided it's supposed to be and how it's supposed to look like. And with access consciousness tools, I finally got that it's not my wrongness, but it's actually brilliance and the willingness to choose beyond like so many things other people think it's available to them. And I made this crazy choice to facilitate foundation class at the castle at Castel di Casal Borgone in Italy. It's a castle that Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, bought with other investors. And they renovated the castle to a place that is totally magical and beyond any words. It's symphony of possibilities in action, actually, just like the place. And like today I was like thinking about, like, I will ask Gary like how he does that. I'm like, oh my God, like what if each of us can create such a space and be such a space? And with like this choice, and I have been to Castle so many times to translate the classes, to contribute to the classes. And I kind of asked to do, like, not cognitively, but I asked for this energy, to facilitate a class there. And 2 years ago, my friend that is also doing access, she's CF now, she told me, you will do foundation at the castle. 2 years ago. I looked at her and I was laughing at her. I was like, are you crazy? Are you crazy? And she was like, you will. And I was like, okay, I will have that. And this year, I don't know, maybe February or something, maybe even later, we started to facilitate this How to Become Money Workbook series with Ashley Rose, with one amazing, beautiful lady and certified facilitator from Australia. And we had so much fun and it was brilliant. And then she was like, hey, like, would you facilitate foundation class with me at the castle? Because the castle is calling your name. I was like, excuse me? Like, are you serious? And I was like, you are so terribly ruining my life because I can't say no. I can't say no because I know this is the energy of the future I'm asking for. And so I said, yes, okay. And we started to organize the things. And then we were like, okay, so what about to have the talk to the entity class here in Prague at another castle that I was dreaming about. And it was so easy. I just called to the castle that was always busy and occupied for 3 years. And they told me that, yes, exactly for that class, that weekend, they are available. I was like, wow, like how often we try to push the things instead of like really following the energy. And when it's supposed to be, it's just done. And so she was supposed to come to this castle in Prague, but she had some stuff with her body and she was not like available and like able to come. So she facilitated the class with me online. So I had her screen next to me and I was sitting on the chair and it was a beautiful class. And then I was like already, wow, will she be able to come with her body to the castle in Italy? And it was the first time when I started to look at where I think I need to wait for somebody, where I think I'm not powerful enough to create anything I desire, where I think I can't make such a choice alone. And I say alone because you are never alone in anything. And that's also what I'm getting with this choice. And then Ashley told me, like maybe 1 month ago, hey, honey, I know I have to look at it and I will not be able to come. And I was like, wow, how much I was already aware of that. And I was like, yeah, but I can't say no. Because if I say no, I would, how to say that? I would not choose me. I would not be honest with me. And I also ask myself, so is it for now or the future? And it was so loud that it's for now. And I was like, wow, like this is really incredible. And these days I'm really getting how the choice creates. I've heard that so many times over past 5 years that I'm doing access. And with this choice, I'm just getting it. I'm like, oh my God, like I think I'm just starting to get what is actually choice. And um like it's opening so much and I'm like, what if we can just choose for no reason? Where are we looking for the reason to choose something? And where are we choosing for the reasons and the results instead of just choosing for the choice of it? And like with this choice to have the class at the castle and this choice is facilitating me so much. And I was like, wow, like, you know what? This is such a gift. Like, even though nothing would happen or I don't know what, this is such a gift. And I would love to make like many more choices like that. And
Definitely.
it's so funny how at the beginning it was so significant. And now there is such a space, and we are going to the castle and we are having this class at the castle. And I went through so many transformations, and each day was different energies. And I was like, okay, baby, bring it on. I'm ready. I'm ready for anything, like any kind of energy. And I had to look at what I'm still avoiding, what kind of energy I'm still making that I can't receive it or I have to avoid it. And I started to face the energies and situations and things where I would rather avoid before. And this is much more fun. We think that if we avoid something, we will kind of save ourselves, but it's not true. It's actually the worst thing we can do to ourselves. Instead of like facing the energy, the fear, and everything that the choice is like bringing up, and just being present with it and say, okay, so what else is there? What else can I receive that I was not willing to receive before? So like I'm getting how brilliant it is to make the choice for the choice of it, not for the reason, not for the result, but like because we can and because it's our superpower. I'm like, this is our superpower.
Definitely. Oh my God, so many things came up while you were talking, but one of the main was that how many times we feel like it's a big choice, that make it significant, and others tell you that, oh, it's too big, you can't choose it, who are you, or it's impossible, but it's really possible. And as you were talking about it, maybe it's not even the class itself is the goal, but the road that's leading you to your choice. And I liked it so much when you said that 2 years ago you were laughing, and we tend to say in Access, when you are laughing, it's true for you. And I was like, okay, Marketa, the universe know at that time, 2 years ago, that you will have that class there. But do you have, or maybe would you like to share some tools which you use in these kind of situations? Because sometimes we also miss it, like the easier choice is the easy choice. And it's so not that. Maybe it's not easy. A lot of times it's really uncomfortable to be in these situations and to be vulnerable and opened, even with yourself, or especially with yourself, that what are your reasons and justifications and the distractor implants to stop yourself or to avoid these type of things. Because a lot of times we are just aware that it would change anything and it will change our lives, but we stop ourselves and see also the judgments of people around us. Because a lot of times I think they are also aware, because they are also infinite beings, and they are aware that if you choose it and you inspire them, then they even can't stay who they were. They also kind of have to, quote unquote, choose bigger. And obviously in this reality, most of the people still doesn't think they have choice and that they have possibilities, and true miracles can happen when they choose themselves. So could you please share some tools that are your favorite and that the people who are listening to us can use in this type of situations?
I like the biggest tool that I am also just starting to get is, who does this belong to? And I know it's so basic, it's so simple, so that like not many people really use it. And in the past, I was not really using it a lot. And like with this choice, I'm using it a lot. And I'm like, oh my God, this is like one of the keys to ease in our life. I'm really getting that, because also with this class at the castle, I was so aware of people. I was so aware of people that would love to choose the class, but they can't because of something. And I started to ask, like, who does this belong to? And I started to really realize that I am in the worlds of other people. Instead of, for example, being connected with the castle, with these beautiful trees, with this beautiful space, and with what I know is possible to create. So, how often you make other people relevant to your choices, instead of acknowledging that all this mess and heaviness and thoughts, feelings, emotions, that's everything you just perceive, but it's not true for you. And I'm like, oh my God, like if we really become who does this belong to, we can have ease and peace in our world. So I'm like, wow, can we please acknowledge that we are so aware and that we don't feel it all? It's just like, it just feels so real, but it's not. And I'm like, yeah, we are just so aware, but we can be still space. We can be just aware, and we don't need to like swallow it, chew it, and digest it as it's ours.
Yes, and the more intense, it's the more sure that it's not yours. So yes, it's funny because in my membership now we have this 3 day "Who does this belong to?" challenge. Because in the Being You workshop, Gary suggests it to uh, say it to your every thought, every emotion, every judgment for 3 days, and you will start to feel the change. So that's maybe you can also try it and tell us what you experienced with this tool. And the other thing that popped when you were talking, that you are starting to understand or get what choice is. So what's choice for you in these 10 seconds? What would you say? What is choice?
I have no clue.
I love
Like, and also like it's so cool because like with access tools, I also realized how amazing it is to have no clue. Because
it.
like when I have no clue, I know I am in the question. So like how often we desire to define the things. And like, for example, with Symphony of Possibilities, because I'm also like advanced practitioner of symphony. And like, I don't know how to say that, but how often we try to like pretend we are specialist in something and we know?
Yeah.
But like, it's not true. We have no clue. And no matter how many SOP classes I have done so far, to be honest, I have no clue what is SOP. I have still no clue what is choice. I have no clue who I am. I have no clue. And I'm like, wow. And I love this space of having no clue, because then you are really in a question and you don't need to define the things. So, what is choice? I'm like, I chose many things in my life that created life I'm living right now. So even in the past, of course, we all are making choices. But then you make another choice, like different one, and you are getting all the like energetics of all of that. And yesterday I had a beautiful private session with Brandon Watt, and we were talking about actually like uncomfortable choice. And he was like, and how little tiny choice is actually this. And I started to laugh because I know that now it's a big choice for me. And it's amazing to acknowledge it. And this is just example, like my class at the castle is just a little example for all of you guys. But like, it's cool to acknowledge the choice you are making that is big right now. But like, if you look 1 year after, like, is it really so big choice? And I started to laugh and I was like, you know what? I have no clue what will be next year. But I know I will be laughing at this choice. I know it will not be so big choice anymore because like this choice is opening so many other possibilities. And I was like, what else is truly possible? But I mean, like, what else? And I told him that like sometimes I ask what else is possible and I try to figure it out. But I can't now. Like I have no clue what else is possible. So really like what else? Like really, what else? Because I can't even imagine what else is possible and how often we try to imagine instead of really being with the energy like, wow, if this is possible and 2 years ago it was not even possible in my world, what else is truly possible? And this is what I love about access tools, like the excitement of living. It's excitement of living. And like if I didn't have these tools, I don't know like what would I do, because I know the normal life never made sense for me. And I'm so grateful for all these tools because I can live life that makes sense to me. And like, if you have choice, and we all have, and we acknowledge it, then you also have to acknowledge that you can create anything as your life, and that there are no excuses, no problems, like nothing. So if you acknowledge that you have a choice always, then you also have to acknowledge that you can create anything because you choose to create it. And I was also looking at it like how many people actually hate to hear that, because then they don't have excuses, they can't have problems, and they can't pretend to be normal.
Yes, that's so true. With this travel thing, what we chose with my husband, we were
I
talking
wanted to
about
ask
it.
you.
Yes.
Yes.
So for you listening to us in the beginning of this year, we were in Thailand, and it's so funny that you say when you look back on your big choices from the past, they are not too big in the present moment because you choose and choose bigger and bigger every time. And this was also for us that we were there for 2 months and it seemed like so big. So how can we be in another country or be abroad for 2 months? And there we were sitting on the last days of our trip and we were just like talking about our experiences. And I told my husband my favorite tool, one of my favorite tools, that if nothing and nobody matters, what would you choose? And he said that I would stay or I would travel for a year and I would choose that. And I was like, okay, let's choose it. And at the first time, it was just like somehow an idea, but the energy was there. And I felt like that we will choose it. I felt at that moment. But after so many months, or almost a year now, and now we are really choosing it. And he was living in London for 10 years, and now he's moving back home, and in January we will go to travel Asia for a year. And it was just like so funny when you said that everyone is asking, and what will be after that? And I told them that it's a year long time. How would I know what we will be after that? I don't know. And it's another great tool, that living in 10-second increments. It's one of the 10 keys of access consciousness. So if you don't want to plan everything and you don't want to know everything, I feel that that's the space where the miracles can happen, because you let the universe to show you the possibilities. And I know that your goal somehow, and mine too, that to give the people this sense and empower them to know that they truly have choice. Because I hear from so many people that they don't have choice. And it's so good for you. You can do this or you can choose this, but I have no choice. But everyone has choice. And it's really possible for all of us. And I wish that what would it take for everyone to know this? And maybe a foundation class, it's the first and best thing that they can choose to really sense that they have choice. Because I know for me, at that time when I took my first foundation, it was like that I started to feel that, wow, I can choose something else, truly. Oh, nobody never told me this before. What was it like for you? Do you remember
Wow.
your first foundation?
I love to listen to you, Reka, because like also your choice to travel the world for 1 year, and like to let all these possibilities to come to you, because you never know. But exactly as you said, like you open up to the universe and you are just like naked in the middle of the world. Here I am, hey universe, what do you have for me? I love it. And like the most of people are looking for a security, and like how small is their life if you are looking for security. And sometimes you just have no clue, you don't know how the things will be. But this is like when it can all be even greater than you can control, than you can imagine, than you can whatever. And I love it. And as you said, like with each choice like that, you destroy the structures Limitations of other people. And not everybody is ready to choose something different. So, like, it's up to them what they choose to do with it. And some of them will be inspired, some of them will just hate you and judge you because this is what they have to do so that they feel right, not choosing anything else. They just have to judge you and kind of refuse you and hate you. This is what also some people choose. But how cool is when you don't give a fuck, like when you choose for you, and like not from the space of like making people angry, but choosing for you because this is what you are choosing as your life. And this is such inspiration and I love it. And when you speak about foundation class, I remember that I went for my first foundation class. I was pregnant. I was in the 4th month of pregnancy or something like that. And I just knew I have to go now. It was not even in Czech Republic. It was in like country next to us, Slovakia. And I had to travel like 5-6 hours by bus or something, but I knew I have to be there. And my like whole being and body was like, you go there, like you go there. And I did. And the 4th day of foundation, I felt like I escaped from a jail.
Mm.
I escaped from a jail called this reality. And I knew I can create anything I desire. And nobody told me that whole my life. I was like, oh my God, I am not in the jail anymore. I opened the gate and I'm free. This is like literally how I felt. I am free. I'm free to choose. I'm free to choose anything. And I was like, wow, what would it take for more people to know that? And the 4th day of my first foundation, I like secretly thought to myself, it would be amazing to facilitate these classes. Like it would be so amazing to be this space for other beings that desire to choose something different. But for me, it was like maybe next lifetime to be certified facilitator. And after 4 years or something like that, like I became certified facilitator, but it was not like, okay, what do I need to do now to become certified facilitator? I chose classes on the way that were contribution at the moment, you know? And it's so beautiful how when you really ask for something, it will come. You just make choices in between, but like it will come always. And I was
Yes.
like, with ease, you know, you don't have to push, like with ease.
Yes, and when you choose yourself, the universe truly has your back and everything just easy, as you say it, easy. Yes.
And I remember, sorry, Reka, when you say like to have your back, I remember at one book, Gary Douglas, he writes like, as long as you are willing to have your back, the universe has your back. I was
Mm.
like, wow, like how many people is willing to have universe back and they expect the universe to have their back, but they are not willing to have their back. I was like, oh my God, this is like brilliant. Yes, as long as you have your back, then the universe can have your back too.
Yes. And are you willing to go alone if that's needed? Because you just know. No reason, no justification. You just go. Yes, I'm originally a pharmacist, and I always say that I would prescribe everyone at least one foundation in their lives because it's
Can you please do that? I love it. I love it. Like, can you imagine to go to the pharmacy? Okay, so one bars class and then
yes,
foundation class. And if it's not still all right, then please continue. Choice for possibilities, advanced body class. Okay, what else? Like, what do you desire to create as your life? Okay, tell me what do you desire to create as your life, and I will give you the prescription of classes.
yes. What would it take for that? Yes. So I'm really happy you mentioned the bars class because for everyone listening to us and who took a bars class ever in their lives are or they can go to the foundation class. And we didn't even tell when will that beautiful foundation class be in the castle. So it will be in 2 weeks' time. And you said in another call an interesting thing that I would really like to address here, that we tend to put a time frame on our asks and on our choices, and we stop ourselves because the thing didn't show up until a certain time or until a certain day. So can you please tell us a little bit about this?
The
Because
time frame.
yes, and what you think about this, or not think, but what is your point of view on this, and how to not stop ourselves with this timetables and schedules we give to the universe? Because in your story also, that 2 years ago it was energetically in the universe and it didn't show up the next day. And sometimes it's like this, that you choose something and the outcome of it didn't show up or don't show up the next day or the next week or even not the next year, but maybe in 2 years' time. But you have to choose it and then let it go and let the universe do its work, because sometimes it needs to rearrange other things as well, not just your life but other people's lives and so many things. So it takes time, and we tend to give up and quit because it didn't show up for the time we decided to. It must.
Exactly. Wow. Um, like, what if anything you ask for? What if anything you dare to ask for? Like, first thing is, do you dare to ask? Do you dare to ask for like really things that you think are not possible? And like when you are asking me this, um, one day we had a date with my husband, and as I was talking about this like castle that is just like next to the corner of my house, we had talked to entity class with Ashley there. And once I went through this castle and this beautiful UNESCO park for the date in a cafe. And I was standing, like there with the castle, looking at the beautiful view. And I was like, hey, castle, you will be mine. And I was like, hey, castle, do you desire to own me? And it was quite light. I was like, oh my God, like, I don't know what is this, but it's such fun to ask for my castle. And I was laughing out loud, like to myself and this energy. And I went to the cafe and I told to Lucas, my husband, hey, honey, I just asked for a castle. I'm going to have a castle. And he told me, that's amazing, honey. And I just wrote like 2 minutes ago that if other people are not laughing at your dreams, they are not big enough.
Oh, wow, I like
And
it.
I was like, exactly. So, would you be willing to be so uncomfortable, so crazy, so whatever, that other people laugh at your asks? Because if
Hmm,
other people don't laugh at your asks, they are not big enough.
definitely. Oh my God,
And
I love it.
I asked for it. I don't know when, I don't know how, I don't know why, I don't know with who and in which way, but I know that the castle will show up. I don't know if I own it or I work at the castle. I have no clue. But it's being with me, this energy, for almost like more than 1 year. And this year I chose like three beautiful castles that I didn't know I can choose. And I make fun that I'm getting ready for my castle. And yes, I'm laughing at it, and other people are laughing at it. But the more I do that, the more I know it's coming. And I don't need to make it significant. I don't need to know when it's coming, how it's coming, but just the energy of it. It's such a fun for me, my body, my being. And I know it will come even faster than I can ever imagine.
Mm.
And so many people are kind of scared to ask like two big things because they are scared that it will not actualize. And if it will not actualize, they fail. So what if you can ask for anything, and if you don't actualize it, you don't fail? What if you can ask just for fun of it, just for what this asks make with your body and with your world and universe, and if it makes you lighter and if it's fun for you, why not to ask for a castle?
Yes, or even more castles, not just one.
Or even a yacht, like my little son is like showing me the yacht, and he's like, this is my house, I will be living on the sea. I was like, cool, like which one? So let's create it. And this is also what I use with my kids. Like, I don't say we can't have anything. I never say that. I'm like, you desire to have that, this is so cool, let's create it. I'm like, let's create it, because I know even kids are the energy of creation. And if you include them and you tell them, hey, that's cool that you desire that, let's create it, they will create it. And you empower them to have these really big asks. Okay, do I have money right now to buy him a big yacht to live on the sea? No, but I don't have to tell him you can't have it. I'm telling, okay, honey, that would be amazing, let's create it together. So this is also like something that's so empowering for parents, kids, families, and like everybody. You don't have to say anymore to your kid, we don't have money for it, we can't afford that. You can say, hey, this is so cool, let's create it. And it activates them, and their creative energy, and they even contribute to you to create more money in your life. So this is also like kids are so good at dreaming about things because they are not limited as adults. They can be also like inspiration for you, and my daughter, she was giving me session yesterday because I felt like it's intense, and I was like, hey kids, like I'm done today. So she was like, I will take care of you, mom. And she just put hands on my body, and I was in the world of magic. I was like, oh my god, like these kids, they are such a gift if we are willing to receive it. I was in the land of unicorns, fairy tales, and like infinite possibilities. And I was like, wow, this is her world. And this world is true for me too. So I'm having it. But like just with one gentle touch, you can have like download and space of like all possibilities. And this is what you are becoming with your each choice. With each ask and choice, you are becoming that space for other people to know that like limitations and impossibilities are not real. That you can really have anything you desire. And also like with the time frame, I had also in the past like classes that I desired to attend and I didn't have money for it. And I was like, I don't know how, but I will be there. I will be at that class. And this choice opened up other possibilities and like creations. And when I made a choice to be at any class, I always created it. So like if you don't put the time frame on what it's possible to create in 2 weeks, but you are just like, hey, I'm choosing it and I will be there no matter what, everything will rearrange as well. So our choice is really powerful, and we still don't get how much. We are powerful.
Yes. And it's also a good and a bad news at the same time, right? Because we are so powerful that we can uncreate everything, but anything. But also we can create truly anything and everything. So why
Like
would we not? Sorry.
we can
So why
fuck up
would?
everything and we can
Yeah.
create anything.
Yes. Then why would we not choose to create anything, even our wildest dreams with our power? So yeah, let's use our power to create beautiful, amazing things. And
Wow.
I truly grateful for the universe that we can co-create this beautiful class, because you are amazing, the castle is amazing, and foundation is amazing. So these three together, oh my God.
And all the team is amazing. And
Yeah.
this is also why I said you are never alone. Yes, I chose to facilitate this class alone, but you're never alone, because like also with this choice, I'm receiving such a kindness and like gratitude and brilliance of like you, Reka, and also other co-creators. And I'm like, oh my God, like how often we are scared to make a choice because other people would judge us, because we make them feel uncomfortable. But what's like also coming with this choice is like gratitude and kindness and so beautiful energies. And when you're willing to receive it, all these like judgments and like all these hatreds and these energies are not relevant at all, because like kindness and gratitude, it's superpower and super energy that will actually eat all the judgments. Or I don't know how it works, but I perceive that, like how often we make these judgments so relevant and real. But then, when you are willing to receive gratitude and kindness and contribution, it's like so irrelevant. It's like, okay, it's there, but there are even other energies that are more nurturing and that you can create with your choice as well. And your kindness melt everybody and everything,
Yes,
even though
and
people think it's not real.
yes, and even it is a choice where you put your attention to, because you can focus on the judgment or the hatred, or you can focus on this kind of kindness and gratitude and the people who show true kindness. Do we have a little more time to talk about a little of
Yes.
kindness? Yeah, sure. So, how many times are people or we are judged because we are kind? And in this reality, a lot of times it seems like a weakness, or if you are, or you have some back intention that you want something from the others and it's not true, or you are lying, or you are fake. What can we do with that?
And like, are people willing to receive contribution and kindness?
Not really.
And are trees and animals and planet willing to receive contribution and kindness?
Yes.
Yes. And this is so cool, because like really these days like it's also what choice is creating. You start to see things that you couldn't see before. It's like another layer. And I'm really reading like access consciousness books, because they create more space. This is also amazing tool. Read the books access consciousness, or listen to the recordings from classes. And I read the books. And I read the book. I also shared with the team and with you as well. Like it was in the book Magic You Be It, and there is a chapter about how the most of people are looking for the value, like what kind of value they have. But if you're looking for the value of you, you need validation from other people. You need to compare yourself with other people. And like each time you choose that, you diminish yourself. Instead of, wait for it, dum, da, da, acknowledging the contribution you already are, like right now, the way you are right now, like acknowledging the contribution you already are. And this was the first time I was willing to hear it and see it. I was like, oh my God, yes, this is what I do all my life, looking for my value. And if I just stop it today, and if I just ask to really acknowledge the contribution I am already being, what else is possible? And yesterday during the session, I also told to Brendan, I was like, you know what? I am like like, I can totally acknowledge that I'm contribution for the planet. This is who I be. Me, my body, this is like 1000%. But like that I'm contribution for people, like I can't see that. And he asked me this question, like, are people willing to receive the contribution you are? I was like, uh-uh. So like how often you want other people to receive you, your kindness, your beauty, your contribution, like the crazy different creature that you came to be here. You know, how often we expect other people to receive it, to recognize it in
Mhm.
us. But like they can't. They can't. Maybe in whole your life, you will not meet a person that is willing to receive you all. But tree outside is willing to receive you all. So I'm like, we are making ourselves insane with going through the world and still looking for validation, permission, and somebody who will see us, receive us. But this is insanity, because what if there is nobody like that? And yes, your kindness will be seen as a fake.
Mhm.
And this is like insane world we are living in. But like what if we can still be this all, this kindness, and like how much kindness is actually your superpower? Because sometimes people like face to face through kindness, they feel like running away because they just can't receive it and they have to judge you for it. But like, what if you know what you be? What if you receive you? This is like what I'm still working on, like receiving me. And what if we can be really grateful every day for us? Like, and true guys, how much fun you have with you when you are alone? How much fun do you have with you?
Mhm.
So, like, what if this is relevant? And what if other people that are not willing to receive you, and sometimes they are even scared, you know? Like, sometimes people will run away from you because they are so intimidated and scared by who you be.
Yes, and for me, a big tool was that only give people the amount they can receive. And we also have to learn that it's also not kindness from our side to try to give them all who we are, but we can ask for the people to show up in our lives who can truly receive us. And I think it's really magical how the team for this castle class, for example, gathered together, because they are truly amazing people and you are also amazing. And I'm so grateful truly to be a part of this. And I would like to tell people one more beautiful thing before we stop this call, that we will have an SOP series next week. And the SOP energy, I was at an SOP class opening of the symphony a few weeks ago, and there I got that thing, or I just understood, or it went through, that it's a true gift, just your being. And somehow I was like, oh, really? I don't have to do anything. I don't have to speak or nothing. Just like how Anthony said, that your being is the gift, just as you are. So the SOP is really a magical, energetic thing. And it has that power to empower everyone. And this series will be about money or life or both, because we see in our world now that the main thing is that people also believed that lie of reality, that there is no money, or they can't have money, or their only possibility to have money is, for example, from work, and they have a limited amount they can have. And it's really that people believe that. So that's what I see, that a lot of people, or most of the people, truly believe that they have no possibility to have more money. But that's not true. There is infinite amount of money in this universe, and if you ask and you are willing to choose and take action, the universe always gives you that in magical ways. Even
And take action. Take action. Exactly.
yes, not just sit there and wait for the money to drop into your palms
And
like.
this is what the most people don't do. Take action. Like really, or they are not willing to do the things differently. Like they do still the same things again, but they don't make different choice so that they have different result. And I also like, if there is anything I was really making wrong, like that I'm wrong in it, it's money. I felt always wrong with money. And when I heard at Access Consciousness, what if your wrongness is your strongness? I was like, huh. So if I feel so wrong with money, there must be super capacity and super power with it. I wonder, what is that? And when I became CF, I started to facilitate how to become money workbook series. And Gary Douglas, he says, like, do the money workbook like once per 2 weeks for 6 months, and your financial reality will change. And I was like, I want to see if Gary is not lying. So I started to really facilitate the series, like 10 days in a row, then break, 10 days in a row, then break. And already after like 4 months, it shifted so much. And this is still my favorite series that I facilitate. And I just realized that I have really big capacities with money, and it just appears in totally different way than this reality would validate, And also, and we will talk more about it during this SOP series, and I can't wait what will pop and show up. But like, where are you creating, generating money for the need of them instead of creating money for the fun of it? And I realized that, like, in my world, this is a huge difference. When I am in this reality of the most of people on this planet, that you need this certain amount monthly to pay, it's so heavy. It's not fun. It's not true. It's not real. And then I was like, what is that? And then I realized I really love to create money for the fun of it, not for the need of it. And if you create money for the fun of it, you will always create more, even more than you need.
Yes, definitely. And what if all of life can be fun? Because most of us don't believe that it can be fun, even with the money creation. It can be fun, or having money, having loads of money. So we have two different choices and possibilities for you. This SOP series will be next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I will pop the link so you can register and join us here below the live. And the other possibility and choice we are kindly inviting you is the foundation class at the castle from the 9th till the 12th of November, so in 2 weeks time. And it's still a lot of time for you to create the money, the break from work, and what will you do with your children, with your dog, with your cat? So everything. You can organize everything and anything, and the universe will definitely help you if you choose it. So all the possibilities, all the magic, all the miracles will show up truly if you choose it. So let's choose it. And we are here. We can help you with everything, even with the travel. We have a
We have
beautiful,
even beautiful accommodation close to the castle.
yes, with the
So like,
accommodation.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And for
amazing.
Hungarians, we can also travel together. So I am happy to make it really a true adventure for you and together. So, what will your invitation be, Marketa, for the Hungarian people to join us at your foundation class?
I just like when you said we can travel together, I had this picture of all these different nationalities together. And this is why I really love classes of access consciousness and international classes, because you realize there are no limitations, no cultures, no boundaries, no language barrier, nothing. There is like communion and energy. And the castle is also like space for that. And what I also love about the foundation class and also this place, Castle di Casal Borgona, it's that you are already living it during the class at that place. And then you go forward to your home and you will make the choices to really create it and actualize it as your whole life. So that this is the gift of that place, because you're already being it and living it there and you know it's possible. And then you go forward and you are empowered to really make all the choices so that this energy is your life.
Yes, thank you so much, Marketa, for this conversation. It was so beautiful, and I'm truly, truly grateful for you and for the universe that the universe lead our ways together and we can connect now. So yes, I'm sure that all the people who are listening to us tonight feels the same or thinks the same, and I hope we could give them inspiration, give you who are listening to us inspiration, and truly thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Reka. It's pleasure. With you, it's always pleasure because you are such beautiful being, truly, and kindness. And how did I get so lucky? And what else is possible? What can we create? Because I'm like, wow, this foundation and this class is just opening space for so much more. And I know it's not ending with that. So I'm like, as long as it's fun, let's do it. Let's create, and let's be the contribution we came to be here. Like really. So thank you so much, honey, and thank you
Thank
everybody
you.
for listening. It was such a pleasure.
Yes, thank you all, and have way too much fun tonight and for the rest of the week.
And your life.
Bye. Yes, in your life. Bye bye.
Bye.